Welcome everybody, and thank you all very much for taking the time to be here and to celebrate an institution now in San Francisco. And you can claim that after decades and decades of contributions, and I do not mean hardly strictly Bluegrass, I mean Warren Hellman, and that's really why we're all here. An ancillary component of why we brought you here was to celebrate one of the contributions of Warren Hellman, and that is his extraordinary generosity creating a festival for this city that will mark its 10th anniversary this October, that is truly becoming an international. It's remarkable. We estimate, and the numbers are always estimates, but I think we have a pretty good sense after the 9 years we've had this festival that roughly the equivalent of the population of our city visits this festival. This is not your small neighborhood festival. This has truly become a regional, statewide, arguably nationally and internationally identified festival that has garnered the attention of some of the top talent, in fact all of the top talent all around the globe. And it is really one of the things that makes, I think, San Francisco such a unique and special and wonderful place. The month of October is always an extraordinary month because the weather is usually so magnificent. But I always mark and remark that October is also the month where we have some extraordinary events in this city, be them sporting events like the President's Cup last year, football games that are happening at the same time. We have parades, the Columbus Day Parade or Indigenous People Parade, and all these other events that mark the city's energy, but nothing, again, that drives more attention and more enjoyment than the event that's held in Golden Gate Park that marks its 10th anniversary this year. So I want to thank everybody again for being here. I want to thank Warren for his contribution, and I want to ask Matthew Godot and Charlotte Schultz, who are here representing the city and county of San Francisco. That's the protocol voice, deeper, because we wanted to take this time.
Beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Just got here.
And it's just, we were filibustering, and you noticed I was repeating myself. Because we wanted to give this plate. We did not, Warren's got about 300, I know I've at least given him 7 or 8 days since I've been mayor. Usually gets a day a year. And Willie did the same thing. I'm sure Frank and Art and all the other mayors going back even before Diane.
He goes back.
I had a choice to be the 2 days in the city prison or work release. We gave you a day.
We gave you a day instead. You chose wisely. But we thought we'd do something different, and Charlotte and Matthew came up with this idea, and this actually turned out much better than I thought too. It may be, but this is instead of a day, it's a plate of sorts, recognizing Warren Hellman, founder of Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Festival, and recognizing his annual gift of music, fun, enjoyment, and the spirit and pride that comes with it for our city, and recognizing this day on his behalf, and thanking him on behalf of all of us in San Francisco for making the city such a special and unique, sometimes, well, certainly special and unique all the time. Warren, thank you for everything. You're not up yet. Now, it's my great honor to introduce to you.
Maybe I was supposed to be doing that to you.
No, all right, whatever. The Director of the Recreation and Parks Department, Phil Ginsberg.
It is truly a great honor to be here today to celebrate Hardly Strictly Bluegrass and to celebrate Warren. And I don't know if anybody's seen this. This is the AAA national monthly magazine called VIA. And on the cover is our own beloved Golden Gate Park with a caption that says, "Why it's better than ever." And one of the reasons why it's better than ever is because of Warren Hellman and Hardly Strictly Bluegrass and the contribution that you have made to our park and our city. So thank you very much, Warren. And you know, it's hard to figure out, how do you thank him? How do you thank him for this incredible event in our park that brings hundreds of thousands of people in the sunshine, where you have stages, people feeling happy and joyous and singing, and the sun is setting in Ocean Beach, and it's actually pretty overwhelming. How many people here actually attend Hardly Strictly Bluegrass? Right on. So I thought long and hard about how do you thank them, and I don't happen to have the Office of Protocol behind me with really big plaques.
Give him the card.
But I thought about, and then I thought about what we do have is we have parks gear for you, Warren. So we have a Wrecking Park hat and the General Manager's very special Wrecking Park vest. There you go, sir. Oh, hold on. On the tip. There you go.
I beg your pardon. Oh,
Right on. That will get you in anywhere. And then last, at the risk of maybe getting fired by my boss today, the other way you thank them for this incredible festival of song is, well, with a song.
You are on thin ice.
I am on thin ice, and I did rehearse this morning with my kids, who, in the words of Randy Jackson and American Idol, my daughter Grace said, "It's a little pitchy dog." So excuse me in advance. It is to the tune of a bluegrass hit, Warren, "Oh Susanna." He came to us 10 years ago with a banjo on his knee. He said hardly strictly bluegrass was his true love for all to see. He chose our city and our park, a 3-day concert that was free. Oh Warren, sir, we thank you for your generosity. Oh Warren Hellman, thanks for HSB. Thanks for gracing our beloved park with a banjo on your knee. One more verse. We celebrate the bluegrass, Prine and Earl sure can sing. But at HSB there's more to see if bluegrass strictly ain't your thing. MC Hammer and Steve Martin, Lyle Lovett and his large band. Don't forget the Wranglers, stand up and clap your hands. Oh Warren Hellman, thanks for HSB. Thanks for gracing our beloved park with a banjo on your knee.
And I don't know exactly where to start, but let's start a number of years ago when our illustrious Board of Supervisors were being supervisorial. We started to run into some real, shall we say, entanglements. And I made the unfortunate announcement that we're moving the festival to Oakland. That was like 8 years ago. And I get a call from Gavin, who says, "You were a supervisor."
I think I was.
Yeah. He said, "Let's get one thing straight. You ain't going to Oakland." And I said, "Why not?" He said, "You ain't going to Oakland. You're not going to Oakland." So we didn't even come close to going to Oakland. I must say, Jerry Brown wasn't thrilled. But so it might have been Ron Dellums this morning, but it never did have been. San Francisco has just been a unique host for the festival. It's developed into a partnership on our side with Don Holliday and all of us, and the other side with Park and Rec and just the various departments have been just wonderful partners. The police, I have so many, I can go on for 2 hours, I probably will, but a few years ago, the precinct captain from that captain, there was a rap festival about a mile away up the park, and she came to me and said, "Could you talk to some of my officers, please?" I said, "About what?" She said, 100% of my officers are here. I don't have a single officer at the other places. And I said, "Do you notice how many arrests we don't have here?" She said, "I know." And I said, I'm not going to say a word to your officers, but the Park and Rec, the police department, just all the city departments have been fantastic, and we feel very much loved, very much supported. And can I tell one more story, then I'll shut up?
This is your mic, your moment.
So we had a family meeting, which some of you have probably heard about, the outcome, where the kids sort of said, well, Mom, Dad, what do you want to continue after you croak? So we talked about some things, and my son, who's a really good guy, many of you know him, said, well, what about the festival? And I said, well, it's up to you guys. He said, gone. I said, that was really dumb. You just endowed it. So we have at least 20 years left. Charlotte, I don't know how many times I've needed to thank you, but you've been a huge part of my life for an awful lot of years. And thank you again. I love Charlotte Schultz, but I hope this whole city does. And Phil, writing a song about me, and it's not even in Hebrew.
I've got that version too.
No wonder you missed the class. And thanks to there, at least I see 3 commissioners here, so thank you for being here. Thank you for all of this. I love this library. We call it Charlotte's Web. But anyway, thank you for being San Francisco. Thank you for the support of the festival. And somehow we'll make it better next year.
No way.
Yeah, Dawn, is there any way we can do that?
I don't think anybody wants to hear about it right now.
Yeah. We hope next year that the traffic jam on 280 starts in Bakersfield. So thank you very much.
Good morning, and first and foremost, Phil, I want to make sure that you don't give up your day job. Anyway, it's really a pleasure as City Librarian to welcome you to the San Francisco Main Library. We're delighted that we are going to house the scrapbook for the Hartley Strictly Bluegrass Festival. As you know, the library here, in particular the History Center, houses an amazing collection of books, posters, manuscripts, ephemera, that documents the life and history of San Francisco. So what better place than to house the archives of this amazing legacy that Warren is leaving us. And I've already talked to him about continuing to build on that collection. So we're going to have the scrapbook here at the Main Library, and then it'll be housed at the San Francisco History Center. So we are really thrilled about that. And also, not to be outdone, Phil covered the recreation leisure side, but Warren was asking me some questions about the history of the San Francisco Public Library. And as you know, we're going through an amazing renaissance here at this beautiful library. We alluded to it with Charlotte's help and the mayor's help. But we're also transforming all our neighborhood branches, 24, 17 renovations and 7 new libraries. So we really have an amazing thing going on for all of San Franciscans. And to answer any questions, because he was asking me about the history of this building and other libraries, we have the consummate reference guide. And so, Warren, we'd like to present you with the illustrated history of a free library in this city, the San Francisco Public Library by Peter Wiley. Use it wisely. And we're for joining us today. Charlotte and our commissioners really, really appreciate your attendance here. And I get to do the honors of introducing entertainment for today. So, about 5-6 years ago, Warren brought together some folks to just do some jamming and to practice his love of music. And lo and behold, they were asked to debut their world stage premiere at the Hartley Strictly Bluegrass Festival in 2006. So now they've gone on to perform in many venues throughout the West. So their mantra is simple music played by complicated people. So with that, here's Warren Hellman and the Ronglers.
So we have a presentation that we want to make to the city, to the library. And what we did, Tracy Buck, I don't know if you're here.
I'm here.
She prepared this scrapbook, which to the best of my knowledge contains every piece of literature from all over the world that was written about our festival last year. And so I'd like to present this scrapbook to
Great. Charlotte and myself. Come on.
good.
All right.
I tried to take that picture out.
That's great.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, this will be fun.
What a great addition to our library.
Yeah, well, it's
Yes.
sort of carrying coals to Newcastle.
It's history.
That's great. All right. So you guys are up.
So now there's no chance of being two.
Phil, don't sing.
I'm not.
I don't know. We need to put some
Homegrown talent here.
We're doing. So this song, a lot of years ago, if you can remember my other, shall we say, quixotic adventure, it was to build, please don't boo me, a garage in Golden Gate Park. And at the height of the activities, we wrote this song for the garage and for the city, and now for Harley Strictly. I'm going to get into it in a minute.
This park is your park, from the old great highway to the music concourse, from the old Dutch windmill to the new museum. This park was made for you and me. This park's for old folks, this park's for children, for those in wheelchairs and baby buggies, not just for hikers, not just for bikers. This park was made for you and me. Take it, Warren. Parking under the concourse in the new garage, of course, for hikers and guzzlers, for kissers and nuzzlers. This park was made for you and me. This park's for picnics, this park's for running, this park's for singing, this park's for sunning, this park's for hearing
An unbelievable supercalifragilistic music weekend concert called Harley Strictly Bluegrass.
This park was made for you and me.
Ryan, you were with us when we kicked this off as a protest song.
I sure was.
2 years ago, and only, well, there were about 800 people there, and less than half booed. So Ryan, thank you for that.
Of course.
And my partner, assistant,
That's a good percentage for me.
the best we've done, Colleen Brown, whose voice you heard. For those of you who attended the memorial service for Don Fisher, Colleen and I wrote a song called Ode to the Fish. And afterwards, somebody came up to me and put it exactly right. Said, that Colleen, boy does she have a beautiful voice. And you sang too.
Warren wanted to do one more little song here that seemed in keeping with the talk of endowment and everything, and it's actually a song that he wrote about his great-grandfather, I.W. Hellman, which he was one of the founding fathers of California. He came from Reckendorf as an 18-year-old with absolutely nothing, and left quite a legacy, and especially in terms of what he did for the city, both here and Los Angeles where he lived. And so this is a little song that Warren wrote about, and everything in it is true.
Yeah, my cousin Frances Dinklesfield has written a book called Towers of Gold, and she's threatened to write a sequel called Shirt Sleeves to Shirt Sleeves in 4 Generations. It hasn't happened. I.W. Hellman, he was a pioneer, came to California in his 16th year, crossed the isthmus to come here, become California's greatest financier. Wait, hold this now. Something's going on. Can you give me a C?
As they say in Britain, it's all gone horribly pear-shaped.
Yeah, let's go on to the second verse. A little bit louder, a little bit worse. Well, he went to work in a dry goods store. Said, this is not what I came here for. Put me a safe right here by the door, because I am probably a banker at my core. Oh, Isaiah, you're the founder of the clan. Oh, Isaiah, you might go without a pen. Oh, Isaiah, your opportunity you ran. Oh, Isaiah, you were a mighty man. Well, he traveled east to find himself a mate. He and Meyer Lehman, they had a double date. When he courted lovely Esther, he could hardly wait to bring her back to California on the Western Train. Henry Fleischman was head teller of the Hellman Bank, IW's advisor of the very highest rank. Stole $1 million, as in today he sang. Never was apprehended, never fell into the tank. Oh, Isaiah, you're the founder of the clan. Oh, Isaiah, you might go without a pen. Oh, Isaiah, your opportunity you ran. Oh, Isaiah, you were a mighty man. Well, he strolled down California Street on a bright and sunny day. Thought kind thoughts and listened as he went along his way. An Irishman with a gun was lurking in an alleyway. Fired twice at Isaiah, missed and ended in the bay. Isaiah left behind him a mighty legacy. He and Esther were the roots of a huge old family tree. He created some security, you and for me. We honor him today for his great sagacity. Oh, Isaiah, you're the founder of the band. Oh, Isaiah, you might go without a pen. Oh, Isaiah, your opportunity you ran. Oh, Isaiah, you were a mighty man. I say, oh, Isaiah, you were a mighty man.